Hello, Rehat. Congratulations on getting multiple admits. How do you feel?
I feel grateful. I mean, I I sort of, with the grace of God, always reach this point where I thank God for all the closed doors. So I'm at that point again. So I'm grateful.
Great, great. How did IE study abroad help you strengthen your profile?
All right. So I already had the grades that we needed, I was told. But my profile was lacking in certain areas such as projects or internships. I had only done two internships, and only one of them was a research internship. So IE recommended me to another NGO that I've been working for now for over 6 months. So that really helped my profile. Another thing that we did was build my LinkedIn. I had no idea about how to use LinkedIn, so I was not updating it at all. So IE really helped me update and bring my LinkedIn on par with other students who would be applying also.
Great. Uh, how did our initial profile mapping help you bridge the gap between your current profile and your long-term goals?
Again, as I said, so I was not very um, indulged in other projects other than my academics that would help me justify my long-term goal of getting into academia or getting into interventions that would help students in their education. Interning with one of the NGOs was a Lakshya Sarthi, and interning with Lakshya Sarthi really helped me bridge that gap because it's an NGO where I again work on communication, work on mental health interventions, and how we bring those across to the larger public, how certain ideas can be translated into more adaptable or more comprehensive forms for the youth. So all of that really built my profile towards my long-term goal of academia and getting into educational interventions.
Okay. How did IE scholarship help you navigate the different application requirements and deadlines for the UK?
Honestly, I didn't have to worry about that myself that much because the whole process was facilitated by the application team. I just had to sort of give them the documents that they asked for, and the whole application process was handled completely and entirely by the application team.
Okay. We created a workstation for you. How important
Yes.
part did it play in your selection of the universities?
Um, so the workstation helped us organize the different things that we were considering. And
Mm-hmm.
I, as a person, panic a lot when I have too much to do or when I see, oh, there are multiple options and I don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think I have ADHD, which I don't. I don't. But but I have but I have problems working and staying on track when there are so many things to take care of. So the workstation sort of organized everything into one place, and everything was detailed and intricate and also organized into this one small place. So it was easy for me to view and consider and cross out and, go ahead with some things and not go ahead with others. So it was easy to keep track of everything, even deadlines, where which SOP has gone, which SOP is still in the working, which SOP needs to go by which date so that we don't miss the deadline. So the workstation was very helpful.
Okay, great. Looking back, what was the single most valuable piece of advice or service you received from IE Study Abroad?
Because I was applying to four dream colleges when I came, and very, uh, I was just very resistant on settling for anything less than the dream colleges, है ना? But simultaneously, I was also not believing at all that I could get there. तो
Mm-hmm.
I remember I told you कि मैं कुछ सपने ना औकात से बाहर ही देख रही हूँ, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. And you told me कि कुछ कुछ सपना औकात से बाहर नहीं होता है. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the consistent, like a woodpecker peck, 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 pecking on the same tree at the same spot, and then you make the, final finally you make the crevice and you make a nest. So I think that was that for me. He telling me कि ठीक है चलो हो जाएगा हो जाएगा हो जाएगा.
How do you feel seeing multiple offers coming from such top universities like UCL?
I was again very grateful. I was in the train when I got to know that
Uh-huh.
I've gotten accepted into UCL, and I couldn't do much but move my legs like a lunatic, and then everybody is watching me, and I can't even shout. So I went to the bathroom, I shut the door, and I shouted like that. I was very excited and happy. I was so sure I was not going to get it. I had told my parents कि जब UCL का ऑफर आएगा ना तब देखेंगे, अभी मुझे प्रेशर मत डालो कुछ चूज करने के लिए. एंड आई वाज श्योर कि ये तो मैं टाल ही रही हूँ क्योंकि नहीं आएगा. एंड देन आ गया, अगले ही दिन आ गया. सो आई वाज लाइक
Okay, you're shell shocked. Okay. Okay, while exploring other consultancies, what made you feel IE study abroad was the right choice for you?
um mostly I it might sound stupid, but such the decisions that I have to take that will determine the course of everything in my near or farther future. I base a lot of it on my gut, and we explored a lot of options, and I just felt safe when I came here. So I took the decision because a lot of people were telling me a lot of different things. And at that stage in time, I did not know which is the right most thing to choose or which decision will translate into most beneficial for me. So I just went ahead with my gut, and I felt safer here for some reason. So I went ahead with I.
Whom did you meet and what differentiated us from them?
I met a lot of people. I met IDP was one of them. And IDP is bustling with people, right? So all the time. One of the things I felt when I came here was that I thought I would get individual attention. Like I felt reassured about that. There will be enough attention put on my case. So that was one of the reasons why I felt safer to invest here.
Well, one thing I remember is basically that we were after you for the LOR multiple times for a long time.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get the LOR. We have sent you multiple copies of the versions of the LORs also. How did that experience feel?
It was very stressful. The LOR time was very stressful because I felt like I was not doing enough, but then I felt like, what else can I do? Because other than knocking on the door, ki LOR de do, LOR de do. But it passed, and I'm happy it did. And I'm grateful also that you constantly kept on, pushing me to get the LOR, because I tend to sort of I tend to get scared of putting pressure on other people. So unless I am crumbling under pressure myself and I have no other choice than to, bang doors and ask, LOR, I wouldn't have done it. So thank you.
Great. So, how did a consultant-led student first approach compared to your experience with traditional agents like IDP and all?
I wouldn't be able to compare because I don't have an experience of things how things transpire over there. But I definitely do have an experience of how this approach has been, and it's been very aptly suited to the kind of person I am and to the kind of approach that I take towards things. So it was perfect for me because I tend to panic a lot, or I tend to sort of get into this paralysis when there are too many things to do. So when I have somebody personally paying attention to me or to the work that I need to do, it gets easier for me to navigate through that paralysis.
Okay. Well, as part of your service, you were offered a one school admit guarantee. How did it help your decision?
Again, it was one of the things that made me feel safe investing here, because again, it's not a small investment money wise, right? When you are consulting somebody for masters abroad or bachelors abroad, and it makes more sense to invest in a place that tells you ki whatever happens, you will get somewhere, because that is a time of so much uncertainty that you're constantly doubting everything, not just you, but everybody who's trying to help you also. You're doubting them, which is fair also. It's fair to be a skeptic, right? When the decisions have so much um, effect or impact on how your life is going to unfold. So you're doubting everything, and so when somebody legally guarantees you that you will get somewhere, you sort of believe in that accountability. They are going to be accountable, they're going to be responsible, they're not going to just, it's not going to be all, sunshine and rainbows, but you're going to get somewhere at least. So that was a very important factor in making the decision to get help from IE.
Okay. And how important do you think storytelling is for your application process?
I would say a lot. Our SOP is all about creating a story that is true to who you are, and also true to the goals that you aspire to achieve in your career. So it's an important thing to balance everything out and create a story that is also just as enticing as it is true. It's not fabrication, it's not exaggeration, but it's not also an underplay of how your life has been and what you want your life to be. So it's about walking that line and making that story enticing and true to who you are.
Okay. If you had to describe IE Study Abroad's approach that stood out for you in 3 points, what would that be?
Gentle, first of all. I feel like it was very gentle. It wasn't all ye karo, aise karo, aise karo, aise karo, aise karo. It was gentle. It was transparent. Throughout, the whole process was transparent, and it was considerate towards me. And it was professional.
Okay. So it was customized as per your
Yes, it was customized. Yes.
Okay. So, Rahit, you have basically studied psychology and you have done research and everything. But in your SOPs, we had to showcase a very different storyline. You had to showcase your interest towards basically further research and academia. My question to you is, how did we help you identify what you wanted to study and for the right university for you?
Then we had a lot of, our initial sessions were all about what I wanted to do in life. So it was almost like I was sitting in a career counseling session, right? So our initial sessions were all exploring what is it that drives me intrinsically, what is it that I'm intrinsically motivated to achieve, why am I motivated to do what I want to do, or what is the impact that I want to generate. I remember we had this one session on Ikigai also, where we were trying to sort of balance everything out and place everything in the right compartment and see what I can do and what is the best means to achieve my goal, my passion, and stay in the scope of my ability also, not jump out of it in order to achieve my passion and my goal. So I remember all of these sessions, and I sort of remember how we came from an abstract point of wanting to teach to this particular niche of getting into education, policy making, or things like that. So it was very structured that way.
What would be your advice to a student who's currently where you were a year ago, unsure of the profile and where to apply?
There is nothing that you cannot do. I think that belief is the most important in this whole process, because there is so much uncertainty and there are so many rejections that come your way, but it's all going to be worth it at the end. As I said, you always get to thank God or universe or whatever you believe in for all the closed doors also, and that happens, that will that will sort of manifest into reality only when you believe that you can get there. So as long as you believe that you can get there, it's all cool.
Okay. A lot of students, Rehat, quite a lot of students think that they can start their preparation a bit later on when the application portals open. What would you advise them? Do you suggest them to basically start late or start early on?
Don't. Don't start late. Start 1 year prior. I started, I think it's been what, 4 5 months only since we started. And that felt like I don't have enough time. So it's a wonder that I got into UCL with 6 months. But I did get rejected from Cambridge, and I did get rejected from also Edinburgh. And so there is always going to be more that you can do. You can always do more, and you can always be better. And the more time you have, the better. So, like, leaving things to the last minute is very scary, especially with the LOR deadlines and all the other things that you have to get done. So it's very scary. So it's better that you start as soon as you can. Probably, if you're going for your masters, then probably start in the second last year of your degree. Like, I had a 4 year long degree. I would have been way better off had I started at the end of my third year.
Okay. I remember basically when we were looking for your LOR, we were chasing for the LOR almost 1.5 months. And it was a scary time. Okay. Final question. Would you recommend I study abroad counseling service to your friends and family aspiring to study abroad? And if yes, why?
Again, I would recommend them to consult or consider IE. I would tell them to go by their gut because that's what I did. But I would definitely tell them to consider IE as one of their options and see if it suits them. And I would do that because my experience has been successful and wonderful, and I got into UCL, and the whole process was very gentle and customized and considerate, and I had a lot of attention put on my case, and so I would definitely recommend them to consider.
Great. Thank you so much, Rehat, for taking your time and coming in for the session. We wish you all the best and congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything.